Hi, this is Tormod, and I'm born schizophrenic, but now I walk my desteni process to empower myself and become whole with myself and to know myself and to learn myself, to know and to learn my schizophrenic process, you might say. Looking at some parts, some compartments of my past, my growing up, the evolution of my schizophrenia, you might say. What characterizes schizophrenia, one of the details, you might say, one of the details of schizophrenia is that there will be more than just one mind unit, more than just one personality unit. What characterizes schizophrenic is that often it would project out this split mind, personality, mind unit platform. So that this split mind unit platform personalities would be separated from the self, from me. And what I would do then, I would then react to this new me separate from me. I would react to this new me, this separated new entity of me. I would fear it. I would perhaps hate it and reject it, and basically just fear that new part of me that I had split from my own mind, you might say. Or like a mini-me, projecting a mini-me, a mind unit, a demon, a whatever system you might call it, that I would abandon of myself. So growing up in my early 20s and so on, and before that also, I would experience this separation of self, this projection of my mind out there, and I would make it into sort of like a mind game with myself, where unconsciously, where I would fear and reject this part of me that was this mind unit, this energy entity, this personality that was separate from me. That I would fear and reject and oppose for all what I could, and literally just hate that part of me because I felt inferior to it. I felt like this was just like bad memories of me that I would suppress and deny, which I would attach to this personality, this mind unit, which was still me, which was still a part of who I am and my living. Even though it was part of who I am and my living, I would reject it, I would fear it, I would oppose it, and I would create all sorts of complicated mind games with it. Hating it and fearing it and opposing it and abandoning those parts of me. So this would be something I could see all the way back till I was like 4 or 5 years old. This would happen within my mind personality picture. Going back to that age, for instance. So finding desteni process, walking mind constructs, learning to understand this energy unit of a box, finding desteni process and learning to unite with those parts of me that I had separated from. Learning to unite with those parts of me that I had separated, that I had abandoned, that I had rejected, that I had hated and projected blame and all these things upon for so many years. I had rejected it, I would fear it, and I would oppose it, with all my energies and so on. Now coming to a point of responsibility with the desteni process, forgiving the many energy addictions and all the polarities and all that, all those metaphysics, and literally stopping myself to see what had I created, what had I become, you might say. So looking at that and literally just embrace myself, embrace what I had projected, embrace what I had separated from, embrace all the nitty-gritty details of me, all the fear systems, the hate systems, the conspiracies that I had made against myself. So facing such points was not easy, of course. And it had taken me some time to really establish this notion of self-trust, self-responsibility, self-honesty, walking with the tools of desteni process have brought me from a suffering schizophrenic to an empowered and decent human being. So, that is sort of my process, having walked from this abandonment, this separation, this projection, this separation of me into something else, something external, some energetic, some demonic entity of me out there that I would fear and hate and reject and oppose, while it was still, all of it was all still just parts of me, of my memories, of my programming, of my being, and so on. So, finding the process, desteni process, has helped me to bring back parts of me to myself, to become one with the totality of me, a true, honest, deep, empowering, and responsibility of myself, really. Literally learning myself to know, learning to know what I did within my mind pictures, within the conspiracy of me, what I did to myself, what was the math of the mind, you might say. Learning that to know and grasping it, understanding it, going over it again, repeating it to myself, seeing on the mind constructs what happened, how did I get to this place, and how was I able to embrace myself and include myself in the creation of me, include myself to empower myself, and literally just rise up and stand for self-responsibility, integrity, and so on, to become a responsible human being. From finding desteni process was the ultimate key for me to stand up from schizophrenia, basically. And it has been the ultimate key to my being able to sit here and do this talk right now with the clarity, with the tone that I bring. So, basically sharing some insights of mine from having walked with a very disturbed schizophrenic mind and understanding it, embracing it, forgiving it, and exposing my findings for all to see. The separation, the personalities, the mind platforms, the conspiracies of schizophrenia. And bringing back those parts of me to me, uniting with me, embracing me, caring for me, and today living words such as gentleness or stability, to find grounding and stability and comfort with being with myself as a human being, as a life form, as existence. And that is for me to have as a reward, having walked my process and still walking my process. I'm still walking my process. I'm not done yet, not by far, but this is a basic snippet, you might say, into the process that I walked, a peek into my experience with mental illness and desteni process. So thank you and enjoy, and see you later.